Ade suku kanurin tongortui.
Emi imboze gbara ina Sara State.
Ina alfahari da kasancewa Bahaushe.
Ni abuwa shangu ba meware hubego.
Ami monyimu mamboko mi semide yuku ojiriwa zepo.
Me indi Malaysia kan dijitirina. Ni pise adagang Malaysia.
Inyada alfahari ikasanchago dun fulbe.
Mapa yala na agba wana gashi bubasa.
Ne musungirindire. Murukuma da ne parelo mengirindire.
Nasarawa people. Nasarawa people. Culture, origin, festivals, customs, and cuisine of the people.
With the country's vast agricultural resources and large expanse of arable land, well-distributed rainfall, and warm temperature all the year round, agriculture played a progressive role in serving as the major source of livelihood to the country's population.
Farming is a hobby and it's a source of living for those that are the serious-minded ones, because we grew up to see our parents, that was their major occupation. Even those that were opportune to go to school, they still go into farming as a source of income, so as to increase their source of income and to make the livelihood better. And as it is today, if it is not for the farming, people will suffer more than what is expected of. We will not get the desired result, most especially in Nasarawa State. Our major occupation is the farming.
It is estimated over 1/3 of people that live in America, Asia, and Africa rely on subsistence agriculture for their food supply. Currently, most practiced type of subsistence agriculture is the intensive subsistence agriculture, which is often referred to as traditional subsistence agriculture. Crops are grown on a small plot of land using human labor or animal in some places. Agriculture has been classified into industrial and subsistence agriculture. Industrialized agriculture is the type of agriculture where large quantities of crops and livestock are produced through industrialized techniques for the purpose of sale. And the goal is to increase crop yield, which is the amount of food that is produced for each unit of land. But with the growing population and the increasing number of graduates and unemployed youths in the country, this research shall be focusing on subsistence agriculture, which requires less or no capital to start with. Subsistence agriculture is when a farmer lives on a small amount of land and produces enough food to feed his household, and the goal is to produce enough food to ensure the survival of the individual family, and can also be sold locally to other families or individuals.
Using your energy, if you put effort and at the end of the day you'll be able to make something, you can reserve for the rainy day. And what is the rainy day? Next year you will not put much energy again. You seek alternative means to reduce the energy you are putting in the farm by going into this mechanized farming or on a commercial basis, so as to at least make you fit into the society. And for some, where this the machines are not there or the machineries are not there, you can employ people to assist in the farming so that you can produce and be able to even take some to the market for others to benefit as well.
For those who might pick interest in farming after this research, one of the common tools used in intensive subsistence agriculture is the hoe. The hoe varies in shapes depending on your location. But for the people of Nigeria, North Central and Nasarawa State, as our case study, they are using the traditional hoes.
Muna kiran shi keke. Kaga ina da bambancin.
We call this hoe keke. Its tail differ from this one, and this is the oldest hoe.
For more than 3 centuries,
my grandparents have been constructing such kind of a hoe. Also, our generation, we have been privileged to attend many courses and workshops on blacksmiths since when we're under Plateau State. After being to Alaja, Ilori, Jos, you see, and our people from Lafia, Wamba, Akwanga, Kefi, Kiana, and Nasarawa, from the knowledge gained from the various workshops, we now come up with something like this, which is now called keke, and made for use by farmers within Nasarawa State. And this particular hoe is made for use by farmers in places like Plateau State and Zaria. But places like Sokoto, Jigawa, Kano, Kaduna have different hoes. Even their weeders differs.
To be able to meet up with the commercial needs, farming requires enough capital to invest. But for those who could not afford, it requires more energy or more hands to farm enough quantity that can serve the market.
If you go to areas like Awe, Azara, our people used to live this environment, and they go there because they have vast land. Maybe you negotiate. If you farm, whatever you get, is it 1 bag or 2 bags, you give the farmer or the owner of the land where you don't have the money. But for some that have money, they hire. You pay a certain token and they allow you to farm. I personally, that's what I do. I don't have anybody at Azara, but I go there, they give me land, I pay a little token on yearly basis, and I farm. At the end of the day, I pack my produce back to my home or about. And that is what most of our people here are into.
Mr. Haladu Musa Kurukyo is a 73-years-old farmer who lives in Kurukyo, just about 3 kilometers away from Lafia, the state capital of Nasarawa State in Nigeria. He is not just a farm owner, but a farm worker and a laborer for other farms. For about 50 years now, Mr. Haladu has been practicing the intensive subsistence agriculture.
I have been farming for about 50 years now, because during the Nigerian's independence, we are just like these youths. We took consting to Lafia for trading.
ina da wayo muna kai kara a gari muna sayar masu masa an gwamma gaji lafiya. Al'amarin noma kan da an yi noma mai albarka sosai kan.
In those days, farming was full of blessing, honestly. Myself, before I got married to my first wife, I cultivated yam. When I was under my father farming, after my first wife put to bed to our first child, I wanted to add a second wife. My father said no, because his elder brother's son who stayed with him haven't get married. So for him not to be biased, he told me I should wait until he finds his elder brother's son's wife before he will now allow me to add a second wife. But he told me, except if I can do that all alone.
77.
Then around 1977, eventually the Sangaya people now came into this community. From the far north, one of their Malam now bought my 5 rolls of yam in the farm. Then I used the money to get married, and that was my second wife. From that period, I farm on my own.
Sai na ƙara wurin kuma 77 ɗin shikenan sai noma na kuma na koma noma na kuma na ci gashin kaina ina kai noma na a 83 na kuma ƙara wani a noma.
And around 1983, I again had the third wife, and all from farming as an occupation. I cultivated yam, maize, guinea corn, cassava, beans, and even millet.
The traditional hoe is an easy maintained tool for the farm workers.
There is a cutlass and hammer which we use to repair the blades of our hoes. Sometimes if the bend is too much, we remove that part completely.
The use of machines in agriculture has made farming much easier. Yet, there is a difference in productivity when comparing the manual farming using traditional hoes with industrialized farming using tractors.
Machine and human strength cannot be compared. The job that a tractor will do in a day can take us more than 10 days without finishing it. Our farming style are not the same. What can be equated to tractors is the animal farming. We that do it manual, our own size can be 3 times the size of that of a tractor. So ours is bigger.
The basic thing is your financial strength. Where it is not there, for the person that is having children, if he picks them on daily basis to the farm, they can produce and even take to the market. For him going to the market going to the farm at that age, at times it's just to encourage them. It's not as if he will put in more energy like those his children again, but it's just a way of encouragement and to see what they are doing, so that at the end of the day, they will have food on their table. Not to just maybe you ask them to go, you don't go to monitor. At the end of the day, maybe at the time of harvest, they will come and be telling you stories.
In order to provide food security to its citizens and beyond the state, Nasarawa state government has prioritized agricultural sector. Engineer Abdullahi Sule, the fourth democratically elected governor of Nasarawa State, being an industrialist, invited top investors in the world to invest in agriculture in the state, as many youths are now fully employed in various fields of the farms established. Indeed, farming is a source of wealth, an adage of the Hausa people, Noma Tushin Araziki. But unknowingly, we have people lavishing poverty who find it difficult or could not provide their household 3 square meal daily.
So for the graduates, unless if you are the lazy type, you finish and you want to say you must get a government job, and where it is not there, you have to seek alternative means of survival. And the only way is for you to, whether you are in agric or not, you can, you will be seeing some people, you will find out. Like they open a Dangote farm somewhere in Awe, Tunga. What they do, mostly, they have parceled out the lands into plots. Anybody interested, you pay to the people, and they can give you farm. Next year, the same thing on yearly basis. That's what they do. So for a serious-minded person, if you want to make a living, not just a living, to be reckoned with in the society, you can embark on that, not necessarily waiting for the government to come and give you job or assist in one way or the other.
Kaga mu anan muna je gona mutum har 30 kusan 40.
Here, we go to farm in a population, sometimes 30 to 40 people, full of energy, just to make sure we finish the farming in one day. Some of us do not have a piece of land to farm. All you need to do, just go out and farm for money.
Practicing the intensive subsistence agriculture has not been easy, as challenges always stand next to things with values and importance.
Lokacin da mu muna 'yan yara, gona dai mukan bi iyaye, mukan tafiya gona tare da su, saboda 'ya'ya irin na da.
In those days, when we were kids, we followed our parents to the farm, and we were provided with our little holes to farm. Likewise, when it comes to weeding, the difference between now and then, we used to have farm storage, which is made to store both farm tools and farm products, which we keep for another season. And if need arise, we come to the farm and fetch home for consumption. That was then. Now, even on harvesting of your farm produce, before you go to bring the truck or vehicle to pack it, you will come to discover someone has stolen all you have labored for.
Sai ka ga wayansu sun biye bayan ka ko cikin dare ko cikin rana su je su kwashe maka wannan abin. Shi yasa an samu wato canjin al'amari irin na wannan lokaci.
Yesterday, we really suffered it because in the farmland, most places were stones, which you have to dig and pull it with force, with all your strength. And if you force the hole much, it break or it hit the stones and jump to your leg. You can see. Yes, you can see. This is a hit of a hole when it hit a root. Other challenges are that of flooding, because even recently, one of our neighbors cultivated yam, and when the rain falls, flood washed away the farm away. Also, when it rains, we shade ourselves until after the rain before we continue. But day before yesterday that we farmed, there was a boy called Ibrahim Tasha. He refused to go to the shade, and after dividing the farmland into our numbers, he took his own portion and started farming. And before the rain stops, he has farmed his own portion. Before, I used to farm like that. I preferred farming while it's raining. And what I dislike most in farming is when the sun is hot That is why you see me covering my head while farming. Because when my head becomes hot, I don't farm again.
Ga numfashi, ga zafin jiki, ga kai kuma duk yana ban yi aikin kuma ba.
Mr. Halid Musa is a proud farmer at an esteemed level. Though not wealthier, but he has reached the peak of his life with only farming as his survival occupation.
All those youths are my children, except one of them, which is my junior brother. I call them to farm when I'm contracted, just like this. They put their money into their pockets. And as you can see them, all of them, except the small one who is always with me, all of them have their occupation aside from farming. Being a civil servant, trader, or any kind of business you are into, I urge us all to go back to farm. If really we want this high cost of living to be minimal, when you farm, I farm, they farm, in fact, there will be ease.
They say no food for a lazy man. If you're lazy, you will see it on your table by not meeting up your demands, talk of somebody or trying to help somebody. But the whole truth is, most of these people that leave the villages coming to say they are looking for greener pasture in the town, I don't think they are helping themselves. They are not making good of their time. At the end of the day, they will be stranded because of what? They are just being lazy. They don't want to put in effort to put food on their tables. Talk of sustaining their parents. I've seen it. Some they come, they will do going or achaba, and that one is just for a period. It cannot sustain you to the period that is expected. Because you do today whatever you get, you carry, go to the market, buy food, and you keep suffering. What about the day that you are sick or you are down? What do you fall back to?
Farming, a source of wealth.
Kudi ya koma wurin manoma, na shaji in zanuwa